Hello, everybody. I wanted to tell you guys a story about how I became gay and my coming out story. So, me and my best friend, we became best friends when I was 12 and he was 13. Um, and of course, we both were straight at that time, so we liked girls, and we were kind of, some young players. We always had little freaky stories about what we did with girls, and we'd always have all these on and off relationships, all these different girls. So when we got to high school, well, I was in high school. I was 18 and he was in college, and he came to my 18th birthday party. My aunt, my sister, and my grandmom all were, out at a hotel so I could have the house to myself for the party. So uh, I called all my friends and they came and they brought beer and liquor. I mean, it was a really great time. So many people showed up. I mean, I was a popular guy in school. I had a few exes who came too, but there was no ugly stares or anything. Everybody was cool with each other, so that was awesome. Um, and then, I mean, we were just all getting drunk and having a good time. And then 18 girls lined up, one for each ear, and I kissed all 18 of them. Then I sucked each of their titties. I mean, I swear to God, I did it. Like I wouldn't lie about this. And then they all turned around and I kissed all their butts. So funny enough, some of their boyfriends are kind of upset about it. But I mean, if the girls were all right with it, then I was cool with it too. So I mean, we were all just getting drunk and having a good time. My best friend was torn up. I was torn up. And then, people started leaving about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Uh, so then, of course, but my grandmom and my auntie and my sister were all staying at the hotel for several days. So they weren't going to come home until Monday. And it was Saturday night that I had the party. So when everybody left, I started falling asleep and I just blacked out. I mean, the next day, when I woke up, I had a hard time getting up. I mean, I just felt like, you know. Then I looked to my left and I saw my best friend sleep. And when I pulled the cover up, I saw that he was naked. So then I looked on the floor and I saw a used condom on the floor. So I'm like, oh shit. So I blew up. I thought he had raped me. So I started punching him in the face and like hitting on him and like fighting him. But the funny thing is, he wasn't fighting me back. He was just defending himself. I'm not sure why, but it didn't matter. I was mad. So I was telling him to get out of my house, and so I went to the bathroom and I took a real good shower. Um, I just wanted to get all that off of me. I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm a Baptist. I've been going to church every Sunday, Wednesday, and Friday for years. I mean, I'm strongly against homosexuality. I've always thought that being gay people were going to hell. Like it just never occurred to me that something like this could happen. So after I finished my shower, I went back into the bedroom, and there he was, still there. He hadn't even left the house. So I'm like, what are you still doing in my house? And then he just stood up and started walking toward me. And remember I said that was hitting him in the face? I mean, he still had blood everywhere, all over his face. So he started coming up to me, and so I started calling him all kinds of bad names, faggot, bitch, all this and that. But he just kept coming toward me. Then he had me pinned up against the wall. I mean, and his face was right in front of mine. And I felt so stuck. Like, I felt like I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. like I was frozen. And then like I tried to push him, but I couldn't. Like my body was just I couldn't move. I mean, and he knows my weaknesses. He knows what to do to make me, not respond. He knows what to do, to make me a little weak. So, I mean, we've been best friends for years, and we told each other all of our secrets. So then he started to kiss me on my lips, and I was a little freaked out at first. Then he kept doing it, and oh my god, it just. Ugh. So, so he just kept kissing me, and then eventually I started kissing him back. Then he started kissing on my neck, and it felt good. It was weird, but it was still good. So after that, we had sex, and it was really awkward, but it still felt good. So I mean, it hurt, but it was still good. Um, and then, well, first I fucked him, and then he fucked me. I mean, it was just the most strange experience I've ever had in my life. I mean, and really, I mean, we're both guys, but everything was still completely clean when we were done. I mean, both of us had sex with women before, and we had sex with each other like we had sex with women. But I guess it really doesn't matter how you do it, because women have an asshole and men have an asshole. It's the same body part, so I don't know. I mean, it was just really strange. So a few days later, I mean, when things started to settle down between us, I guess about 3 days later, he said to me, you know, "Oh, well, you look happy." And I mean, I felt kind of happy. I felt different. And that's how we became kind of sort of, I guess, boyfriends. So, yes. So, I guess we were boyfriends starting about 3 days later. So, we were boyfriends for a few months, I guess. And so, that's how I became gay. Now, next, my coming out story. um, so, okay. Remember I told you guys about the story about that day, my birthday, that whole situation. So I did, I accepted that I was gay about 3 days after that happened, and I guess about 8 or 9 days later, I came out to my grandma. Like a week. I know, man, a lot of guys who are gay, or they may feel bad about it, or they'll keep it a secret for a long time, 10 years or something, and then they'll come out. Or some guys never even come out. But for me, I mean, I've always been an honest person. I was just born that way. I mean, sometimes it can be annoying, but you know, and my birthday's in February, so I'm a water sign, and that means I have to be honest. Always. I'm always honest. Always telling the truth. I mean, suppose someone asks me a stupid question. I'm not gonna lie to them. I'm just gonna tell them the truth. Anyway, so back to the story. So I told my grandma, and she really didn't say much. She told my aunt and my sister and a few people in the family. I mean, I have a really small family. And I'll never forget that my grandmom said to me, well, she asked me to come to her bedroom, and we sat down. And she asked me if I remember my cousin. She was really my godmom, but we called her my cousin. And she died of AIDS. I mean, and I knew she died of AIDS, but I didn't know that she was gay. So my grandma told me, that being gay is a controversial issue. Um, and she just said to, and she just gave me a Bible, and I said thank you, and she told me to keep it, and that was the end of that. But my first sister's a lesbian, my other sister's a lesbian, and my brother's gay. I've got two straight brothers and two straight sisters. One of my sisters is engaged, and one of my brothers is married, and I'm the oldest. So that's it. Hope to see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.